What's up, everybody? Let me share screen here so we can get this thing fired up, right? Boom, 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 boom. How's everybody doing? Enjoying your Saturday, I hope. I'm trying to knock these last couple drafts. What you see right now is the draft board from my last draft. So, which was number 149. I've been plowing through these today. Underdog has a cool promo. If you hit 50, 150, and 250, they give you a kickback of the rake. So it's like free money to get to 150. So why wouldn't you? Flores, what's up, man? Good to see you. Little different angle. Trying something new here. We'll see how it goes, right? You guys will have to give me some feedback on what you think. Whoa, crazy. Whoa, too much. There we go. That might be. Hey, what's up, Nano? What? Blah, 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 blah. What's up, Nano? We're just waiting for two more people, and I can start this draft. How's your weekend going, guys? I feel like this angle is much more like in your face. I don't know if that's good or not. You can probably see my cat better, I guess. I guess that's cool. Did I saw a notification about Nolan Jones? I didn't see anything about the severity. I guess we got a couple minutes. I can take a quick look, right? We only need one more for this to fill. Leaves injured knee, blah, blah, blah. Did he just get hit by a pitch? I just see him rolling on the ground. With apparent knee injury, blah, 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 blah. Fouled the ball off his right knee. He'll be fine. No problem. It's not like he was fielding a ball in the outfield and then came up lame. Like that's how Acuna blew his knee out. Just the turf monster got him. Those are brutal. But, I mean, you foul a ball off your knee. I know it hurts. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that recovery time's not bad. It's not like it's going to cost him opening day. So we're good. We're good. Watching miss and hoping to win rewards one last time in football. New format next weekend. Tell me what's up, Flores. First off, which league is this that you're playing football in? Yeah, he's just gonna have a bruise. Probably ice that bad boy up. Pop a couple Advil. It'll be good. MLS. Okay. So MLS, they didn't go cold turkey with the new format like they did MLB. Enjoying not working. Nice, Nano. I'm working. I'm drafting. That means I'm working. Okay, here we go. Sweet. Third spot. My last two drafts were 11 and 12. Those are brutal. There we go. I'm going large today. 3 TVs. Well, I should say 2 screens and using my TV for the draft board. So third pick. I mean, you can't really lose, right? Unless you're Ohtani, then you lose a lot. Ha ha. This Ohtani thing is getting wild. So if it comes out that his interpreter was placing the bets for him, which, I mean, if he's not betting on baseball, not a big deal, right? But in California, sports wagering is not legal. So worst case scenario, if he's not betting on baseball, then he probably just pays like a $200,000 fine and it goes away. Hopefully I can get Soto here. If not, I'm taking Judge. I'm actually Do we want to take Ohtani at 3? Okay, we'll take Ohtani. I just feel like this is actually the first time I can remember that MLB has opened an investigation on a player and not put them on administrative leave. Normally, if they open an investigation, they send the player home for at least a week or two. So this is interesting, but we'll have to see how it goes down. You know, the funny thing is, like when Pete Rose got banged with gambling, MLB was really tight-lipped about everything. If that would have happened today, there's just no way. We would have had so many details, and we just didn't back then. They were kind of hush-hush about it. And then eventually, like more and more came out, and then Bart Giamatti passed away, and more came out, and he was the general manager or the commissioner at the time. But you can't bet on baseball. You cannot bet on baseball. So we'll have to see how this goes down. The thing is, like, I know all of us can agree that betting on baseball, if you're a baseball player, is obviously just stupid. But for people who are gambling a lot, it's more like a sickness. And if they had that much, what was it, 4.5 million? And I realize how much Ohtani makes, but money is money. And 4.5 million is a lot of money. So for him or his interpreter to be that much in the hole is really aggressive. I just don't understand. Well, first off, I don't know how much his interpreter makes, but for you to get 4.5 mil in the hole, you got to have a big bankroll. And I don't know if his interpreter's making like 5 mil a year. I'm going to assume he's not, but that is a really big hole to get into, which is why I think people are looking at this going, maybe it's not his interpreter, because who's going to give him that much leash? That's a lot of leash to give somebody. You can't just be like, well, Shohei's my bro, so, I'm good for it. It doesn't work that way, especially with like bookies or like offshore betting. Like, it does not work that way. Oh, okay. So I see what you're saying, Flores. MLS had already launched. So they basically gave everybody some time and then boom, dropped it on them, which I thought is what they would have done with MLB. Like, give us some time before you drop it on us. But nope, week one, they put the hammer on us, huh? They did put the hammer on us. Last time with cap modes. Do they still have thresholds in MLS? Up to $500,000 a year. Still, that's not enough money. That's not enough money to bankroll 4.5 mil. I mean, I would think that's pretty good money for an interpreter, right? I guess he does other things too. He's more like his personal assistant, but still, it's a lot. Ooh, you know what? If we're going to take Ohtani, we may as well take. I can't talk today, guys. We may as well take Trout. Let's do it. We're gambling. We're going to take all the high risk guys this draft. YOLO this draft right here. I mean, we're not going to be silly and take like injured guys, but we'll take guys who are healthy now, but will probably get injured later, like Mike Trout. So normally I take my boy Luis Robert right here. So we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty predictable. He took Burns. That's normally my fallback. So Alonso's going to be my fallback here. Luckily, I'm going to get Luis Robert. Pew, 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 pew. And then when it comes back, I will take at least one pitcher. and an outfielder. So I might even take 2 outfielders and just go like Teo and Hap. We'll see what kind of pitchers come back. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I am so pumped for baseball season. There's still thresholds, but we won't have it anymore after Thursday. Wah, wah. Yeah, reality check for everybody, right? Let me see. There we go. I think that's the right. I'm using my Halo today, which is why it's like in my face. But so I'm trying to get the color right, because otherwise, watch, check this out. Like it gets crazy, right? Nobody wants that. So I'm just trying to find like a nice. That's like not enough. That's like too much. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I just want to talk baseball and not look like a monster. It's international break right now, but the leagues are only playing right now for football is La Liga 2, MLS and Liga Max. Okay. Oh, so I don't know if you guys saw this, but I'm going to host. I may have hinted about this before, but I'm going to host a game night on Wednesday. So opening day eve, and I'm going to see about no promises, but I'm going to see about trying to set up a way where I can have guests on and try to call some of my old baseball guys, see if I can get them to jump on for a few minutes. No promises, but we'll see. I felt like that'd be fun. I should call my buddy Brad Brock. He's now color commentary guy for the Orioles, so he'd be pretty cool. My buddy Cody, he's now got his own Sirius XM show, so he'd probably just come in here and try to railroad me the whole time. My buddy Dan D-Rob, he's like a bench coach for the Indians now. Trying to think. Like, I think everybody's out. I think my buddy Josh, he played for the Padres and the Yankees. I think he's like coaching in Australia. So I could check that out. But I could hit up a couple guys, see if we can have some former major league players in here. They wouldn't be any rock stars. Okay, where are we at here? Nice pick on Bichette. So Teo got picked. Well, that's rude. Okay, I like Gossman right here. I've done so many of these drafts now. It's like I can do them in my sleep. We're going to go Gossman. Normally, if you guys remember when I first started drafting, I mean, I was setting up my queue and I was this and I was that. At this point, I've done it enough times that I just know who we're going to take. But these guys are pretty on it. Like I normally don't have to take Gossman right there. I normally have somebody cherry fall in my lap. That didn't happen. So I'm actually going to go. I don't like this. This injury update on Ian Happ revealed Saturday Happ's recovering from a left hamstring injury has plateaued, and that he'll be held out of the Cubs lineup Monday. Blah, 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 blah. That's not good. Okay. I don't think it's a huge issue in the big picture. He's just not going to be available. So we're going to go Evan Carter instead of Ian Happ right here. Zach Gallen was still there. I could have doubled up on the pitching, but nope. Manny Machado. Look at O'Neal Cruz. He is just skyrocketed. People get hyped about spring training. I try to not get too high, not get too low about guys who are playing well in spring training. So we're going to play Guess Who on Thursday, circling back around. We're going to play Guess Who on, Wednesday. And so what I'll do is I'm trying to right now, it's not going real well, but I'm trying to buy some cards off the market that I can use for giveaways. I feel like limiteds are normally the best cards just because everybody kind of plays at their own level. So if I can snag some value, but we're starting to see that like FOMO pump right now. FOMO pump. So I was hoping it wouldn't happen until Monday, but it's happening. And we're starting to see a little bit here, like just a little bounce on the limited. I mean, realistically, though, there's just not enough of them out there. So people are starting to worry, like, you're in a tough spot. If you were patient and you only bought like 2 or 3 and you were like, it's cool, I'll wait. They'll mint more. And now you're sitting here going, wait, I need 5. So there's now pressure on you to be able to get those other 3 before Thursday, which isn't right. I mean, realistically, they should have 100 of these minted. But I don't know. I guess they're allergic to money. Because, I mean, we definitely have people who want to buy these cards. Not all the cards, obviously. I'm looking at, like, Daniel De Los Santos for the Padres. Like, nobody wants that card. Unless you're chasing collection score, nobody wants that card. But O'Neal Cruz is probably going to end at, like, $75 for a limited. You could sell 10 of those for $50 right now, or you can sell 1 of them for $75. So, you know, just is what it is. So I'm fishing. I'm trying to find like, Conforto. Conforto could be an option. That'd be a nice giveaway. Starting left fielder for the Giants. Pavetta, he's kind of cheapish. I'm trying to find a bunch of cards that are like around like $5 to $7 that are good value that also you could play. So we'll see. All right, let me prepare here. We're only one person away from the pick. We're 144. Oh my gosh, Ian Happ is still there? Well, that's definitely going to happen. Hamstring or not. Welcome home. So I'm going to try to go George Kirby or Dylan Cease when it comes back. Possibly Peralta. The one thing that was cool about Twitch is that I could like split the screen and you guys could see like what I had queued up and you could see the draft board. Oh, sweet. Okay, so I'm going to get one of these 2 guys. Kirby or Cease? Kirby it is. All right. Look at this team. Shohei, Trout, Luis Robert, Evan Carter, Ian Happ. And I've got Gossman and Kirby. This team is looking great. People get a little spooked. Ian Happ might be out like a week or 2. Who cares? We're going to play until August. I'm not worried about a week or 2. You know, the difference is like right now, I know Ian Happ is hurt and it's a hamstring and he'll be out for a couple weeks. That's fine. The problem is like I draft Mike Trout and he's healthy. We all know Mike Trout's going to get hurt at some point. So is he going to get hurt for like a couple weeks or is he going to get hurt for like 3 months? And that's kind of the risk you take with Trout, but forget it. So yeah, Thursday should be cool. I figure we'll probably stream for like 2 hours, maybe longer if everybody's having a good time. And I don't know if I'm going to put together a PowerPoint or anything yet, because honestly, that part of it is pretty time consuming. At least for me, it is. It's probably good practice because I just haven't used PowerPoint in forever. But at the same time, like I have other things I want to do with my time. Last night I was up. I was trying to go to bed at like 11. My body was like, go to bed. And I'm normally a night owl, but my body was like, go to bed. It's late. But I was running numbers and I was looking at Soto. I wanted that Soto super rare. And I thought Zuby was going to go big on it. And when he told me he was going to go like 1,500, I said, Zoob, like, I'll go 1,800. And he was like, really? I said, well, let me run the numbers. Let me make sure that I want to put that much money in there. And I ran the numbers and I was running. And all of a sudden it was 2:00 in the morning. And so I'm sitting there going, okay, am I ready to make this $1,700 bid? And I kept running through lineups in my mind. And I'm like, okay, so I've got, I'm going to start Webb and Ginkle. I can play Judge at the corner spot, Bichette, Soto, J-Rod, Chisholm. That's pretty sexy. Like, I can make that work. So I had started talking myself into bidding it up to 1,700. And with only a couple minutes to go, I look at it and boom, somebody bid on it. And then boom, somebody else bid on it. And then there was a little bidding war. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. But what I was really thinking is, you asses, you couldn't do this 2 hours ago? Because if it would have hit 1,800 2 hours ago, I would have went to bed. And why is everybody up at 2 a.m? Like, that's 2 a.m. West Coast time. So I didn't get Juan Soto. I did bid on Chisholm. I have an old Chisholm that I was going to use. I wanted a new Chisholm, and I did not get it. So that's okay. I'm good with that. For some reason, I ended up winning Joe Musgrove for less than $200 on Super Rare. And if you can get a good starting pitcher for less than $200, that's a W for sure. Maybe, it could be those UK guys for us. It was Link 808, which I assume he's in. I don't know why I was assuming he was in LA, but because it was 818, I'm gonna have to look at the 808 zip code. Where are we at here? I need pitching. There's some infielders, but nobody fell to me, so we'll go Steele and Bobby Miller. Well, we'll go Steele, and then we'll find out who comes back. Hopefully Bobby Miller or Mitch Keller come back. And I've got those 5 outfielders, so no sweat on those guys. I'm just going to focus on pitching right now. Wouldn't mind CJ Abrams. The funny thing is, there are so many like second and third year guys that everybody is so hyped about. They are just really expecting, like, CJ Abrams is one of those guys where they are just expecting them to take off. Casas, Torkelson, McLean would have been in there, like EDLC, O'Neill, so many young guys. And if half of these guys take off, the league is going to be in such a great spot. But we just have so many of those killer young guys right now with sky high expectations. Okay, cool. So I got Keller. So all of a sudden the pitching looks pretty good. Gossman, Kirby, Steele, Keller. Woo! Outfield looks awesome. Infield, we'll get there. Yes. Okay, let's check this out. 808 area code. Oh, see, Link's 808. He's Hawaii. That's why. It's like 11 o'clock at night for him. He's probably always grabbing deals. All right, I see you. Also, Link, sports gambling is illegal in Hawaii. So anyway, I'm just being a smart ass. You guys got any plans the next couple days? Last weekend before baseball. So whatever you need to do, do it now. I'm going to watch San Diego State game tomorrow. So they looked decent. Actually, they didn't look good. Lede looked good. And the rest of the team should have bought a ticket because all they did was watch him play basketball. But they get to play Yale tomorrow, so that should be a great game for me. Obviously, if Yale gets the upset, then props to Yale. But I don't think I don't think Yale's going to be able to handle San Diego State's defense. They're going to be like, these dudes are relentless. Forget it. Yeah, I was surprised Yale won. That was a great game. Auburn has a lot of horses, a lot of really good players. And it was so funny. I was watching the game, and I was like, man, I wish they had a live look at Charles Barkley while this game is getting played, because Chuck's an Auburn guy. So it was funny when they cut to him at halftime, and he's sitting there with his feet up and his cigar, and I think they were up by 9 at the half. But I was like, let me see Chuck. Cut to Chuck. But Yale played real well. Man, that kid on Yale, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to look his name up now. He was so good. Like in the first half, he made a couple shots, and I was like, who is that kid? He can really shoot. What is his name? Fadukis? Come on, I know I'm looking at one of my Discords. Okay, so I found it. Palalkidis? I know I'm not saying that right. Palalkidis? Man, that kid can shoot, though. He reminded me of Jimmer Fredette, the way he was shooting yesterday. It was really impressive. And I guess their center is supposed to be good, and he just got dominated. He was terrible the entire game. So Leday is going to that guy's going to foul out. He's probably going to have 3 fouls in the first 7 minutes, and Leday is just going to wreak havoc. So I expect the Aztecs to win by double digits. Now, with that being said, they're really good at playing down to the competition. So what I'd really like to see is them get other players involved, because they're going to need everybody else moving forward. You can't just lean on Leday all the time. Thoughts on Holiday going down? I'm shocked. I was really surprised. Obviously, if you keep Holiday down for a month, you get a year of control. But I mean, the Rangers are gonna run with Langford. So yeah, I was surprised. I didn't read about why. I mean, that Pittsburgh sent down Skenes. I expect we'll see him at the end of the month. They just want that extra year of control, which we'll see if the union has an issue with that, because frankly they should. That was the whole point of changing the CBA. All right, if I get lucky, we'll get Joe Musgrove right here. Yeah, but that was the whole point of changing the CBA, so the teams would stop manipulating the dates, and they put the draft picks in and blah, blah, blah. I think Jackson Holiday is still going to be an absolute rock star. There goes Musgrove. Absolute rock star. But that's a little disappointing. I'd say it's really disappointing from the standpoint, if you're an Orioles fan, because you really want them to win. And obviously they won the division last year. It is a really tough division. The Yankees, outside of losing Cole, really improved their offense. The Jays had a down year. I think the fences really messed with guys. But the Jays had a down year. They should definitely bounce back. The Rays are super scrappy. So you're going to need all those wins, especially if you want to have home field. And then you went and got Burns. If you went and got Burns like that, granted, I don't think they gave very much for him. But if you're going to go get Burns, then why are you not going to play Holiday? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. All right, I'm going to go Sonny Gray or Nico Hoerner here. I don't like that they're going to hit Hoerner at the bottom of the order. They're going to hit him 7th, which is a bummer, because he was I think he hit 2nd last year, and he was extremely productive. So I really don't like the idea of messing with him. They're going to have Suzuki hit 2nd. So It sounds like a lot of people are really hyped on Suzuki, but Nico had a great year. Anyway, how are we looking here? So yeah, those are my thoughts on Jackson Holiday. He's still going to be an absolute stud. All right, we're going to start going wild here on infielders. Pew 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 pew. So yeah, I'm just going to watch the game. I'm starting a new workout routine. I don't know if I could say I'm starting a new one because that sounds like I had an old one, and that's not the case. My old routine was when I feel guilty, do something. So my new routine, well, let's see, I've got about 5 hours to put it together for tomorrow. But I downloaded. I didn't download. I subscribed for like the Apple Plus Fitness. So I'm committed. At least $10. I'm committed. At least $10, right? You bear with me a second. The girlfriend is texting. Oh, where are we at here? All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've got going tomorrow. I'm gonna try to make some time to work out. Once I finish this draft, I'm gonna get out, stretch my legs a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back, and I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. So those are the best days, though, right? It's like choose your own adventure. I could do anything. I could call my buddies up, go for drinks. I could see if somebody's having a house party. I could just fire up HBO Max and watch a couple shows. I could pick up around the house. I already picked up dinner, so I'm good there. But we'll see. Sonny Gray. So I read yesterday that Sonny Gray was supposed to be back. They were thinking they wouldn't need to IL him because he might be able to play that first series. So that would lead me to believe that a week or two. I don't see the point to rush him though. I mean, he's going to be your best pitcher. Signed to a multi-year deal. You know, if he needs to take an extra week to get right, you never want to start the season off injured. So Flores, I have a sandwich place nearby that I really like, and it's called Blimpies. I don't think they have them in Florida, but I haven't eaten there in a while, and today I was just craving it, so I went and got like a extra big sandwich so I could have like half for lunch and half for dinner. So I'd like to say I'm going to make something fun, but I'm not. I'm not. Yeah, Flores, good point. The Cardinals do open up against the Dodgers, so no reason to rush them, right? Although the rest of that Cardinals rotation is not great. So there goes Jackson Holiday, 12th round. Dodgers should definitely put up a ton of runs against that Cardinals rotation. All right, I queued up a bunch of guys, and they're just taking them all. I was really hoping to get Josh Young. Keep in mind, I have 0 infielders right now. It's the 12th round. 0. I'm going to have to go 0 to hero on this. Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about Sonny Gray. It's not like you're. Oh my gosh, he took Vinny. So what I'm going to do, not that it matters. All right, so luckily the guys behind me have all taken infielders. I'm going to go Volpe. I think Lowe's going to be back within 2 weeks, and that's actually pretty decent value for him because before the injury he was going about 20 spots higher. But I'm actually going to take Geloff if he comes back to me. Geloff's been getting picked pretty quick. It was nice when I could take him around like 180, 175. Those were the days. Yeah, the thing is with the matchups right now, I see a lot of people talking about that stuff, but two things to keep in mind. We don't know who's going to be in the rotations yet. Teams do some weird things, especially when they start the season on the road. So we don't know who's going to start yet. Second thing is, at the beginning of the season, I guess it's just us, right? So I'll just give you some alpha. The variance for starting pitchers for So Rare is going to be so huge. You're going to have guys who start, and with the exception of probably like Spencer Strider, right? So you can have a guy who starts Corbin Burns, and Corbin Burns might only score 1 or 2 more points than, well, let me just look, than a guy like Charlie Morton, than a guy like Nathan Eovaldi, if he even outscores him. Because starting pitchers at the beginning of the season typically only throw between 60 and 80 pitches. So what you're basically just trying to do, and I know we always do this every week, but you're basically just trying to target strikeouts. And you got to think, hey, my pitcher might only go 3 innings, 4 innings. Probably not going to have very many pitchers that go 6 innings, starting pitchers that go 6 innings. So you got to keep that in mind when you're picking pitchers. But at the same time, what that means is that your hitters are going to face a ton of bullpen arms, which could be good, could be bad, depending on. So like the Braves are going to open up against the Phillies. So it's a pretty tough series for both groups of hitters because, well, the Phillies obviously play the Braves extremely well. But that means the Braves are going to start off that first weekend or that first game week going up against Wheeler and Nola. And Philly's bullpen's pretty decent. I mean, it used to be trash, but now it's pretty decent. And the Braves bullpen's really solid. So you're going to start up with your Phillies against Spencer Strider and Max Fried. So it's a tough spot. Like for me, I'm not starting Acuna on my A team, which sounds crazy, right? Because he's Ronald Acuna. But knowing he's got to face Wheeler and Nola, and he's only got 3 games that game week, whereas half the teams have 4 games, it just doesn't seem like a great play for me. So I'd rather start Jazz Chisholm with 4 games against the Pirates. Pirates bullpen's not as good. I just feel like you're going to get more quality at bats against lower quality pitching. So now that I've said that, the Braves will probably average like 12 runs a game against the Phillies. But you understand the philosophy. That's the whole point, is just understanding the philosophy and taking advantage of those things. So we'll see. I changed up a couple things. I don't normally play a lot of common, but I did change up a few things with Yamamoto getting dropped. So I think I just I dropped McKenzie for Yamamoto, and I had an extra point, so I swapped out like Vladdy and Devers. Like I picked up Devers, ditched Vladdy, because all I'm trying to do is grab as many T1s as I can. And the cool thing with Yamamoto is he's likely to come out as a T1 or a T2. I'm not a huge Yamamoto fan, and I know he had a rough outing. It doesn't really change how I feel about him. I just think he's going to be like a solid pitcher, but he's not going to be like a dominant guy. But he's going to get priced out like a dominant guy, meaning when you have Yamamoto and you want to go into the swap machine, you'll be able to swap him for probably not Strider, but you'll be able to swap him for one of the better SPs. Where are we at here? Oh, it's right. It's infields. Oh, is it? What pick are we at? 166. I need Verdugo right here. Boom. That worked out perfect. Or Melendez. I would have taken MJ Melendez too. Okay, I might take a flyer on Jake Berger. It's not my favorite. It's going to come back to me where. Or I can grab my pitcher. Just get my last pitcher out of the way right now. I see Detmer's there. Harrison. Did Harrison get taken? No. Oh, yeah, he got taken in the 13th. Well, people are a little trigger happy on him. There's Gore. You know, I don't think I've taken Berger like at all this entire time. Why is he seeing work at first base? Anyway, I've been taking Josh Bell. Okay, I'll take Berger. Let's do it. So we've got one more pitcher, and then we're all infielders the rest of the way. So the trick is, Flores, I'm missing a couple things. I need another bat. Well, you know what? I might actually not need another bat. I did see something about. Let me see what Underdog has to say. Corey Seager will start at shortstop and bat second in Saturday's spring training game against the Royals. Seager underwent sports hernia surgery. Blah 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 blah. So, I am curious to see how that went. I do not have a Corey Seager rare, but my rare team is actually all set. But I still am looking to add Seager because of my Texas stack. Blah, 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 blah. The Rangers are healthier, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, Seager. So Seager debuted today and Young, which is great. So that, well, let me take a look. Obviously, you guys are only looking at the draft board. But I think that means I'm going to be able to swap out. Yes, I am. Man, I really hate trying to find guys here. Boom. Okay, so I can actually swap out Jock Peterson for Corey Seager, and I should be all set. So I'm still trying to add Evan Carter. He's going for a stupid price right now, so I'm not in a huge rush. But I want to add Evan Carter. I need him on my limited. He's actually the last Ranger I need before they release like the next 10. And I need a Seager rare, which, let me see. I know I was top bid before. I almost won the second one, but for some reason it didn't work out. There's 2 days and 2 hours left on this, so we'll see. Hopefully I can get it. I think I'm willing to go up to like 220 on it, which I feel is a reasonable price. Yeah, I went 225 on the last one, and the guy bid 236 and beat me on it. So, or I just wait, and his jersey number is the next mint. Not that it matters for me, because I should have that locked down, the number one collection score. But I always gotta look. I gotta watch out for E2D. That guy's he's aggressive. So I don't need to buy those guys because my lineups are actually all set now. So I don't need to buy Evan Carter. It would be great if I did. But I bought Machado, so I'm going to play Machado in that spot. And I'm always making tweaks on my super rare team. So keep in mind, I think you guys know, last year when I played, super rare is my focus. Even though I played unique, even though I played rare pro and I had some rare cards and I had like a Padres team stack that I would play in limited. My focus is always you find your lane, focus on that lane. It's what I always tell people. And mine was super rare last year. So, and I won eight times in super rare last year. So it worked out all right. And I won 25 podiums last year, 20 of them in super rare. So is that right? Maybe 18. Maybe 19. I'd have to check. But I was pretty obsessed with always winning. And luckily it worked out for me. But it doesn't always work that way. Did I not take a picture? Oh, sweet. Mackenzie Gore made it back. Beautiful. Okay, now it's infield the rest of the way. So which was part of the problem last night, right? Because I wanted Soto, and I'm trying not to have that attitude. Not that there's nothing wrong with wanting to win, but at the end of the day, I know you guys have heard me talk about this. I'm not at a point anymore where I want to win enough that I'm losing money. And with as much as I won last year, the fact that I was still in the red just didn't really sit well with me. So now I'm trying to make fiscally responsible decisions, which is why I didn't end up with Juan Soto last night, which is why I didn't end up with Gunnar Henderson yesterday or Fernando Tatis earlier in the week. Like I'm trying to be fiscally responsible, because at the end of the day, I'm only buying, with the exception of these Ranger stacks, I'm only buying super rare cards that I think I can win my money back on. So if I knew that I'd be able to pull it off with Soto, I would have paid for Soto. I mean, last year, these prices, as much as people act like these prices are so high, last year I paid $2,200 for the number one Austin Riley. He sold for $1,100 last week. I paid $2,400 for the number one Tatis. Now, granted, he didn't get released until the end of April, and we had no idea that they were going to make 4 of them in the first 30 days, which did not make me feel very good about spending $2,400 on the first one, knowing that as soon as I bought it, they had already minted a second one. With that being said, I'm trying to be a little more fiscally responsible. So I did buy an Alex Bregman. I do have a Joe Musgrove. I do have a Chas McCormick. Are those cards going to win me anything? Not in week 1, probably not. I do like Bregman a lot. I don't think he's a huge difference maker. So I'm just trying to figure out my strategy. So initially my strategy was that I was going to get Seager and Doval, and I could ride with Seager and Doval, even though I knew Seager was going to be hurt. And then eventually I was going to get Matt McClain when we got to the M's, which I thought would happen like midway through the second week at the latest. But then Crypto Poppy came out of nowhere and bid up Corey Seager $320, and he beat me on him. And he did the same thing with Doval, and he spent over $500 on Doval. And, you know, they say that everybody's got a game plan until they get punched in the mouth. So I had a game plan, and Crypto Poppy came around and he laid it into me. And at that point I was like, okay, what's my plan? What was plan B? Like I didn't have plan B. That was plan A. Also, Alex Bregman was not part of any plan when I bought him. In hindsight, I should have bought Garcia and Bregman because I could have got it for $1,000 and been done. So now I'm sitting here with Bregman, no Seager, no Doval, and then we saw Diaz and Clase go for crazy prices, and I'm just sitting there going, okay, I need a new plan. So last night, the reason why I was up for those extra 3 hours is I was trying to figure out, is my plan just target certain guys? Just wait, be patient, grab Alonso, Seager, and one of those outfield studs like Soto or Tatis like the next go around? Or do I try to go hard at like Jose Altuve and Kyle Tucker and then just say, screw it, I'm going to roll an Astro stack with Bregman, Tucker, Altuve, and then two of my studs, depending on how many games they have. I'm either playing like Judge, Acuna, or J-Rod. So, and then I would pick up a relief pitcher as my fourth guy. I still don't have that answer. But I will tell you, when I bid on Jose Altuve, which I will, that'll give us a good indication of what my strategy is. Yeah, Flores, Bregman contract year, obviously Soto contract year too. I think for Bregman just needs that 2018, 2019 baseball back, and he can put up huge numbers. And I love Bregman. I think he's a great ball player. He's just not like that guy. I mean, remember in 2018, 2019, he was like on Trout's level. Finished second in the MVP voting. He put up massive numbers. This is good. Nobody took any infielders. Polanco and Julian were the only infielders taken. Good for me. How are my infielders? I know they're garbage. Volpe, Giloff, Berger, Gorman. Okay, so I got Berger and Gorman. So I got some pop. I'm going to go with McMahon here in a minute. So here's my concern with Bregman. When we came out of COVID and the Astros, all the stuff with the Astros came out, some of those players handled that better than others. And I feel like, of course, there go all the infielders. I've still got J.P. Crawford queued up. So, but some of them handled it better than others. And I feel like Bregman wanted no part of it and just kind of folded in 2021. Was a shell of the guy he was before. The power numbers weren't there. He just could not get it together. I'm going to pull his numbers up right now. Just come on, man. I already knew who I'm taking. Let's go. These guys take too long to pick and then takes away from my talking. All right, so Bregman. Bregman in 2018 was fifth in the MVP voting. 2019 was second in the MVP voting. This is a guy who led the league in walks, had 41 home runs, 37 doubles. That's insane. He had 90 extra base hits. 90. That is huge. That is an absurd number. He slashed 296, 423, 592. Had over a 1 OPS. That's how good Alex Bregman was. He was 25. Then the COVID year hits. They changed the baseballs. His slash goes from 296, 423, 592 to 242, 350, 451. That is a huge drop. He goes from an OPS plus over 1 to an OPS over 0.801. That is massive. And then 2021 hit, and he was getting booed in every ballpark he went in. He just was not right at all. And he hit 17 doubles. He was hurt some of the year, but he only hit 17 doubles and 12 home runs, 39 extra base hits. 2 years before, he had 90 extra base hits. He had 29. He slugged 422, the worst of his career. So he adjusted, just like some of these other guys have adjusted, these smaller guys, which means their adjustment is we're basically just going to swing for more home runs. So we're going to strike out more. We're going to hit for less average, but we need to hit more power. So he did that the next year. So his slug went up to 454, but his average was 259. and he had 38 doubles, 23 home runs. And then last year, he slugged 441, hit 262. Pretty similar slash line. And he had 4 triples, which I don't expect him to be able to replicate 4 triples again. There's just so much luck involved with triples. I mean, if you're not a burner, if you're Fernando Tatis, you hit 5 to 7 triples, fine. But if you're Alex Bregman, to hit 4 triples is kind of wild. But he had 25 home runs, 98 RBI, and 162 hits. So don't love it. So I don't know what he's going to do. You'd like to think, hey, it's a free agent year, but at the same time, kind of, and the Astros have really been very passive about signing him, and that messes with guys. You see everybody else get paid, and you're thinking, hey, I've been here, like I'm a homegrown guy. What's going on? And he's not getting paid. So that definitely messes with guys. I remember when I was in San Diego covering the Padres, Chase Headley, and I love Chase. Chase is a great dude. And he had a monster second half of the year. Monster. And everybody was like, okay, he finally arrived. This is the guy we thought we were always going to get. And it was unrealistic. But the Padres didn't want to sign him to do a deal. And he was going into free agency like the next year, and he really wanted to be in San Diego. He wanted to get a deal done. And it messed with him. And they made him an offer that was almost half of what this is. I don't know if this is, well, nobody cared. Nobody's watching. I don't know if it was on the record or not. But, I'm supposed to take an infielder here. Everybody's gone. I really don't want to take him. Nope. Guess we're taking my boy Ty. San Diego State, baby. Ty France. But the fact that the Padres basically offered half of what the Headley camp came in with just crushed him. He just felt like he was in a place where nobody wanted him anymore. And he had a terrible year. Got traded at the deadline for Solarte, who was never even a prospect for the Yankees. And I think one other scrub. And went to New York and was just not the same guy. It was really unfortunate. But sometimes those things mess with you. Some guys get motivated, put up big numbers. Some guys, it really weighs heavy on them. So it's rough. Watching Kansas. All right, that's cool. That's cool, Flores. That's going to wrap the draft up, guys. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. We got to talk a little baseball. I really do like when you guys pepper me with stuff here. Price predictions. I didn't even see this. Sorry, Nano. Price prediction for Ohtani unique. Did I see that O'Neal Cruz sold for more than Juan Soto today? Which is criminal, but also shows you how, I don't know why I'm going here. Let me look. That's what I don't like about this halo. It gets in my way. Okay, O'Neal Cruz, yeah, went for $5,700, which is really not that much when you're talking about uniques. So I'm going to say, I thought for sure Soto was going to go closer to 8. I'm just peeking at Masternator's collection real quick. He's already bought 5 cards. He's dropped $5,000. What's that? 7, 12. He's already dropped 17 grand. And the prize is they're giving away $100,000. Good luck. I'd say Ohtani goes around 8 grand. 8 grand, final answer. So we'll see how that plays out. Who else is available? I think Quan goes tomorrow, and Quan's super under the radar. He's not a guy I love as a from a server standpoint. If you're playing like limited and rare, but he can help you out on SR a little bit. But he's definitely a solid play at unique, just because the amount of cards that are in the pool are a lot different. So I think Quan should go for 1,500. Nemo went for 1,700. This is on a Sunday, Sunday at 8 a.m. I would think Quan could go in the like 1,500 range. I could see Ohtani going around 8 grand, especially because they put that starting pitcher designation, which is just bad for him. Because we all know he's not pitching this year. But anyway. And then Doval on Tuesday. So I'll probably stream Ohtani. Hopefully it stays low, and that way I can do the stream and we get like 3 or 4 guys bidding on it. And boom, 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 boom. But there's also a couple guys who are going to have to play defense on him. Win Moon just bought his unique at the end of last year. What? Hold on a second. So the first Ohtani YNWA bought over a year ago for $90,000. RIP YNWA. The first guy bought it for 90 grand, and YNWA just basically said, here. And wow, this is crazy. The bidding on this. Let me switch screens so you guys can see this. Oh, it's me. Where are we at? Here we go. Nope. Yep. Okay, so check this out. This was the first Ohtani. And remember, we launched middle of July. Was it end of July? Like right after the All-Star break. And this minted in August. So we're almost done with the season. They drop Ohtani, and this bidding war breaks out between these two whales. So Win Moon and YNWA are just swinging, right? Back and forth and back and forth. And then all of a sudden, 50 Shades of Shy shows up, drops 90 grand. And then a year later, YNWA bails him out and buys it from him. And I understand, like, YNWA felt that Ohtani was the number one card. It's the first year of the run. It's the top card. It's going to have some collectible value. I don't think that So Rare has any collectible value. Not that it never can, but they just don't focus on it at all. So I view it, now granted, I'm somebody who bought Top Series 1. I'm somebody who bought Candy. I think that those are much more collectible pieces. But I feel as though So Rare is 99% utility on the game. So last year, hey. So last year, 8 months ago, so at the end of the year again, Ohtani drops from 90,000 to 15,000. Crazy. And I know when Moon was ready to spend 25K plus, nobody pushed him. So he landed at 15 because all the whales were really frustrated at that point. They were basically just playing defense on their own cards. So this year, it'll be interesting. I know that I was talking to Win Moon, and he was like, "Are you kidding me? They're already releasing Ohtani?" Because he like just bought it. Let's see exactly when he bought it. So he bought it in July. So just 2/3 of the way through the season. Because we know obviously the Angels weren't making the playoffs, and they're dropping another one right now. And I told him, I was like, yeah, you got to get 52 weeks of utility. That is the key, 52 weeks of utility. So you like the new format, which he does. He really likes the new format. Some of your cards are going to get posted early, and that's the way it should be. That is 100% the way it should be. So we'll see. I'm going to say $8,000. That might be high, actually. 55 ETH right now is almost $185,000. Well, I mean, if YNWA can win every single week this year at $2,200 a piece, then he can break even on it. So there's that. And I think he won, what was prize last year? $1,000. I think first place in Unique Pro was $1,000 last year. And I think he won 8 or 9 times. So Flores, you're going over 10K? Are you going to bid on it, or that's just your prediction? I don't think any of the people who are going to bid on Ohtani care about what's happening with the MLB investigation. I don't think that's going to impact his pricing at all. Not for those guys. Not for the whales. I don't think they're going to care. Somebody like me, like I'm not spending $2,500 on a super rare, knowing that he could get suspended for 2 weeks or even a month, or he could get P Rose treatment. But these guys don't care. It's like monopoly money to these guys. I don't know if they all bought ETH when it was like $10 or what, but they just throw around ETH like it's just a joke. Nano, I feel like they planned on dropping Ohtani anyway. We saw that they dropped Freeman and Darvish. I'm surprised they didn't drop Machado, actually, but they intentionally dropped. They dropped Glasnow early. They were dropping Padres and Dodgers because of that first opening week. So I think that was more of why he got dropped. I don't think they were like, uh-oh, let's make our money. I think for us to say that would be giving them too much credit. Like, I already give them a hard enough time that they kept a starting pitcher designation on it, knowing that it's worth more with that designation, even though he's not going to pitch it all this year. So, I mean, they released Bryce Harper. He's not an outfielder. They released Betts as he's not an outfielder. Like, they put all the correct positions on everybody. But Ohtani, they took some special liberties and kept him at starting pitching because they know he's worth more that way. So that's about the extent of my, I think they're manipulating a few things to make a couple extra bucks conspiracy. I don't think that they saw the investigation. I wouldn't give them that much credit. If anything, that should have caused him to pull it back. But they're not going to do that either. And MLB's not suspending him yet. So we'll have to see. I mean, obviously, if MLB suspends him for any length of time at this point because they didn't do it right away, then there's going to be smoke. And hopefully it's nothing. But, I mean, as a Padre fan, I'm not going to hate it. But if he ends up playing on a baseball team with Trevor Bauer and Yasiel Puig in Korea, then it is what it is. Like, you knew the rules. So we'll have to see how that goes down. But I'm planning on waking up Monday morning. I'll do a stream for the Ohtani auction. That'll be pretty cool. We'll probably get a bunch of people in here. And by a bunch, I mean like 7. That'd be awesome, right? And then we'll do the stream on Wednesday. That'll be a ton of fun. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up and turn on some basketball and probably eat some food. And I got to go for a walk. You guys got to be on me about that. Like, I got to get more exercise. So that's a thing. That's like a real thing for me. Like, I need to get more exercise. So, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go for a walk right now. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. Hope you have a great weekend, and maybe I'll see you Monday. If not, hopefully I'll see you Wednesday. And if you're catching this on the replay, then hope you enjoyed it, I guess, and come back on Monday. I'll see you guys then.